Hello you guys, I'm back again with another album review. This time it's 9 Inch Nails' 1994 album, Downward Spiral. Eerily enough, this actually was recorded in the same house that actress Sharon Tate was murdered in by the Charlie Manson followers. This is definitely like a concept album. This is very much about a man's path towards recovery perhaps. Definitely a lot of self-destruction, lack of self-fulfillment, but also self-fulfillment, like all the contradictions that come along with actually finding yourself. Okay, so the song Mr. Self-Destruct, which is the opening song on the album, or on the masterpiece as I like to call it. I wasn't sure how to feel about it. It felt sort of like a nightmare, but it was like so interesting because I wasn't sure how to feel about it. You know, I'm kind of contradicting myself over here. But if you listen to March of the Pigs, I feel like that song shows the contrast between the very heavy sadistic sound and the light and softness that is sometimes perceived as charismatic. And at first listen, March of the Pigs feels like a cold sounding song, but really after you listen to it many times, it's like you really begin to understand it. It's very hard to review 9 Inch Nails. We've got the song Burn as well, which I really actually quite enjoy because it has this really fast-paced, heavy sound to it, still pretty sadistic sounding. The song Burn actually ended up on the soundtrack of Natural Born Killers, and you wouldn't think of a different song that would be best fitting for that soundtrack because it is pretty charismatic when compared to the other songs on the album. I definitely cannot get enough of the song Heresy. It's got this distorted electronic feel that is at times juxtaposed in a way. And we get those lines, God is dead, no one cares. A lot of the songs we get this reoccurring theme in the lyrics that God is certainly dead and nobody cares. There is no doubt we see a lot of Nietzsche ideology in this song, Heresy. I also recommend listening to the song really loud, just because of those voluptuous bass lines that are created throughout the song. And just Trent Reznor's voice manages to seduce you, but at the same time, bring out this whole message in the song that isn't really much of a message, it's just an atmosphere, a texture. His voice just provides that. Every time I talk to people about 9 Inch Nails, they tell me I should listen to the song Hurt. It is pretty good, to be honest, but it doesn't showcase all the talents that 9 Inch Nails showcase in quite a bit of their songs. This is a bit more watered down. I don't know if Big Man with a Gun, that song, is on the Natural Born Killers soundtrack, but it definitely should. Not only because of the obvious title, but again we have those electric pulses, which are contrasting those heavy, distorted, sort of metal riffs, I suppose, which, in a way, really complements Trent Reznor's vocals that are just screaming, and it just feels so, animal-like. We also get a touch of goth in the song Dead Souls, with its intense, sort of intense bass lines, although, it's nothing compared to other songs like Heresy, where it's really, really intense, or even Closer. Closer is a no-brainer. I'm obviously not going to talk about every single song on the album just because it is a very lengthy album, but I'm going to talk about my favorite song on the album, and I left this one to last. Closer. Closer is my all-time favorite song, okay? It's like if somebody were to ask me what's your favorite song, I would definitely say Closer is one of my favorite songs. We're getting this feel of electronic, distorted heaviness with some alternative rock elements that are just timeless. And I've heard some people say that they're not too keen on Trent Reznor because they feel like his actual composition of the music in itself is frustrating. You're not getting proper means of developing things throughout the song, and I totally disagree. I think the fact that it's not following that typical pop or that typical rock song structure, I think the fact that he doesn't follow that actually makes 9 Inch Nails as a group, as artists, stand out a lot overall. And I think this song is the best showcase of that I think this is more of an individual anthem than anything else. I mean, there are certainly some things that are really misinterpreted in the song, unfortunately, in terms of lyrics. It feels a bit rapey, actually. It does feel rapey. When I first heard it, and no, I didn't have any background information of that song, I was like, oh my god, this is actually horrible. The lyrics, they're a bit extreme, I guess. And then I read up on it. I really looked through those lyrics. I read between the lines, and I was like, wow, this is such a human song. We're effectively following this person that is literally going through this downward spiral of their life. They're trying to find themselves. You know, they've missed out on this whole religious thing. They don't understand it. You know, they're trying to get closer to God. You know, I want to fuck you like an animal. That line, it captures it. It captures the frustration. He's basically, in a way, trying to fuck reality and understand it and live it. But I think maybe this person is slipping away from reality at the same time, and they're just not sure, well, which path should I take? Should I take God? But no, I'm pretty sure God doesn't exist. So this person whose values, whose beliefs of there being no God are being questioned over and over again, as they feel like, you know, I do feel like I need to find some kind of means of having a faith, but I don't know what. It's beautiful. I mean, not even beautiful describes it. It's just overall a philosophically beautiful album in its most nihilist tendencies. However, this album definitely does have its controversies, and one of its most known controversies is surrounding the Columbine High School massacre. One of Dylan Klebold's diary entries prior to the incident actually referenced a song by 9 Inch Nails in the specific album. It definitely was something that he used to describe his depression. But anyways, so that's Downward Spiral. Really just black and white type of album. You love it or you hate it. You know, there's no in between. And I'm definitely on the loving side of it. What about you? What do you think about Downward Spiral? Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter at itsclaudia123. Also follow me on Instagram at multi.vibe. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do music reviews and I do film reviews. You can also go visit my music blog. I will see you in the next one.